In nature, lions don't always maintain the upper hand. There are confrontations where opponents proactively approach, maintain distance, and control the situation from the outset. When tactics are deployed at the right time, the tide can turn very quickly. And from those situations, the story of how other species force lions to retreat begins to unfold. In the tranquil expanse of the grassland, a buffalo remained still, its heavy body stable as a solid block. Every movement was controlled, each breath slow and steady, as if waiting for something to happen. And it was in that silence that danger began to approach, step by step. Not far away, a lion lowered its body into the tall grass, minimizing any signs of movement. It advanced slowly, choosing its moment precisely. Then, suddenly, it lunged and approached its target. The buffalo staggered for a moment, but did not fall. Dust rose, and the commotion began to attract attention around it. The entire herd of buffalo turned their heads towards the point of impact. At first, there was hesitation, a brief pause to observe. Then, one charged straight in. That action immediately triggered a reaction from the entire herd. One by one, they advanced, horns pointing forward, hooves pounding the ground. The lion didn't retaliate. It lowered its body, avoiding escalation. In just seconds, the situation changed. The lion was forced to retreat under overwhelming pressure. In this environment, individual strength doesn't determine the outcome. Buffaloes survive through observation and collective reaction. One movement can change everything. A controlled approach can quickly turn into a coordinated counterattack. In nature, survival often belongs to those who don't stand alone. Hyenas demonstrate remarkable social intelligence when operating in groups. They assign roles, maintain distance, and constantly exchange signals to coordinate. Each individual monitors the target's movement and reaction. When conditions are right, the group adjusts its position to gain an advantage without increasing risk. An old male lion strays from its familiar territory and loses its territorial advantage. It moves slowly, trying to maintain distance, while a group of hyenas begins to stalk in a circle. The approach steps are short and controlled, aimed at probing and applying pressure. As the distance narrows, one individual moves closer to test the lion's reaction. The lion turns and attempts to fight back at close range, but its declining physical condition slows its reaction. The hyenas maintain their encirclement and gradually increase the pressure, not rushing to finish the fight to minimize risk. The situation tilts in favor of the hyenas, forcing the lion to retreat. At that moment, another lion appeared, changing the situation and causing the hyenas to retreat. In the open space, the hyena pack maintained formation and monitored their target's reaction in short bursts. Approaches were controlled, maintaining distance and increasing pressure rhythmically. When the position was close enough, the situation entered a decisive phase. In shallow water, the hippo usually has the advantage from the start. A mature individual can weigh over 3,000 pounds, with a thick body and jaws wide enough to exert significant pressure. It remains submerged for most of the time, only exposing its eyes and nose to observe. This calmness masks a very quick reflex when intrusion occurs, and the water begins to stir slightly. Near shore, a lion moves low, maintaining distance and observing. It doesn't rush, choosing its approach angle and timing. When the distance is close enough, it accelerates and closes in on its target. But just as it approaches, the water ahead suddenly rises. The hippo leaps up from the water with great force and straight ahead. The first moment decides the outcome. The lion immediately turns, switches to a survival stance, and leaves the area. There is no counterattack, only a quick retreat to avoid risk. The seemingly calm surface of the water is where control can shift in an instant. A body hidden beneath the surface can decide the entire course of events when it acts unexpectedly. And it is this sudden change that forces the remaining prey to choose to leave in order to survive. In the open field, the rhino maintained a stable position from the start. Its over 4,000-pound body, thick skin, and front horns helped it maintain a safe distance. It always faced the lion and adjusted its movements carefully. The distance was kept tight, leaving no weak points exposed. The lion began moving in circles to find a rear angle. It lowered its body and approached step by step to test the rhino's reaction. Each time it advanced, the rhino immediately turned and stepped forward to maintain distance. This movement was repeated many times, creating a prolonged state of tension. The lion found no opportunity to attack. It stopped and did not continue to approach due to the high risk. The rhino remained facing forward and did not allow itself to be approached from behind. After a while, the lion left the area. The rhino's victory went to it without a fight. In food-rich areas, elephants react quickly to any unusual movement. Their over 10,000-pound bodies allow them to advance straight and maintain distance from intruders. They constantly monitor their surroundings and don't ignore unusual signals. When the distance is reduced, they immediately become active. A lion is feeding, focusing on its prey and lowering its guard. It's not hunting, but merely maintaining its position near the food source. From a distance, an elephant appears and moves straight in its predetermined direction. The distance closes rapidly, and the lion only realizes it's very close. The first charge occurs immediately. The lion doesn't retaliate, abandoning its prey and retreating. The elephant continues to advance, impacting the prey to break its grip. There is no resistance, and the hold on the prey is broken. In this situation, the elephant doesn't need direct combat to gain the upper hand. A quick approach and breaking free from control is enough to decide the outcome. Lions prioritize safety over food. When conditions are no longer suitable, leaving is a necessary option for survival. In the aquatic environment, crocodiles demonstrate highly effective coordination and observation skills. They maintain a low position below the water's surface, exposing only their eyes and nose to track. Every small movement of their prey is noted, and their distance is adjusted accordingly. When the time is right, they approach closely without making any obvious signs. A lion cub moves near the water's edge and struggles to stay afloat. It loses its agility, and its reaction time slows down. From underwater, a crocodile approaches slowly. The distance is only a few feet, but the danger is not yet apparent. A swift leap from underwater occurs. The crocodile approaches and pulls the prey down immediately. The adult lion stands on the shore but cannot intervene due to environmental limitations. The situation ends quickly after the ambush. In this context, the key factor lies in the approach and the very close proximity. The crocodile maintained its position underwater to control the situation. The lion cub reacted slowly due to inexperience. Without intervention from the shore, the situation ended quickly. On the savanna, giraffes maintain distance using their height and wide field of vision. Their tall bodies allow them to observe movements around them early. Their strong hind legs are ready to generate force when needed. Upon detecting approaching pressure, they can stop and switch to an active defensive posture. A lion begins stalking from behind the herd, moving low and maintaining a steady rhythm. It tracks its target during the chase, gradually depleting the opponent's energy. When the distance is close enough, it accelerates and leaps, attempting to reach the neck. The giraffe suddenly stops and slightly rotates its body to regain balance. Immediately afterward, it delivers a powerful and precise kick from its hind leg. The lion is struck and thrown back, unable to maintain its position. The attack stops at that moment. In this situation, a timely reaction can turn the tide completely. Giraffes don't need to chase. They just need to maintain distance and wait for the right moment. Lions don't continue to approach and retreat to avoid risk. When conditions are no longer favorable, the confrontation ends quickly. In nature, strength doesn't always guarantee control. Each species reacts differently, depending on the environment, the time, and its adaptability. These situations demonstrate that when conditions change, the outcomes change as well. And it is in those moments that the true limits of a predator are clearly revealed. In the vast grasslands where predators usually hold the upper hand, the order is sometimes reversed. Horns, seemingly for defense, can become weapons that force predators to hesitate. Each encounter is a tense moment, where the line between attack and defeat is very thin. And in those decisive seconds, the prey is no longer just a target, but a real adversary. In the dry land near the swamps, African buffaloes stand in groups, their massive bodies and horns forming a sturdy shield in front of their foreheads. An adult can weigh over 1,500 pounds, possessing enough force to jolt a predator. When separated from the herd, it becomes the target of a pride of lions silently encircling it, and the encounter quickly becomes fierce. The lions simultaneously charge from multiple directions, trying to dislodge the buffalo. The struggle is intense and prolonged. While being held tightly, the buffalo suddenly turns and delivers a powerful headbutt. One lion is struck and thrown to the ground, forced to retreat in pain. However, the collective pressure ultimately weakens the buffalo. The lions bring down their prey after several tense minutes. But one individual in the group suffers serious injury from the final counterattack. Victory doesn't come without a price. The hunt ended with the prey subdued, but the lesson was clear. Even when restrained, a buffalo can still deliver a dangerous counterattack. In nature, a predator may win, but it is never completely safe from the sharp horns of its opponent. On the vast open field, where the elephant herd moves slowly, the mother elephant always keeps her calf in the center. Her long tusks point forward, her large body forming a living wall shielding against all approaches. Upon sensing the presence of lions at the edge of the field, the group immediately tightens its formation. This close-knit arrangement quickly becomes a challenge for the predator. A group of lions moves in an arc formation, trying to separate the calf from its mother. They don't chase, but only move in small steps to cover any escape routes. However, the distance between mother and calf remains constant. The mother elephant constantly turns, keeping her tusks pointed directly at the threat. When a lion tries to get closer, the mother elephant lowers her head and steps forcefully forward. The thrust from her large body forces the lion to dodge immediately. Unable to find a safe opening to attack, the lions gradually slow down and retreat. The hunt ended without any young animals being separated from the pack. Many hunts begin with separating prey from the group. But when cohesion is maintained absolutely, the predator's chances are almost zero. In nature, collective strength is sometimes an insurmountable boundary. Near the edge of the pasture where the buffalo herd was protecting its newborn calf, the mother buffalo always held the front position with her thick, curved horns like a living shield. The calf was weak, slow-moving, and easily targeted. When a leopard silently appeared at the edge of the bushes, the tranquility began to waver. The leopard lunged out unexpectedly, aiming straight for the nearest calf. But the mother buffalo reacted almost instantly, lowering her head and charging forward with a powerful goring. Her sharp horns swept across, forcing the leopard to change direction and retreat into the bushes. Undeterred, she tried to approach another calf, but the entire herd closed in and counterattacked even more fiercely. The confrontation ended when the leopard was forced to retreat. In its escape, its hind leg was severely injured by the goring from behind. Movement became difficult, and for a lone predator, a leg injury could mean long days without hunting. Sometimes hunger forces predators to take risks, but the price to pay can be enormous. On the dry, windy sands, the Oryx stood firm with its long, straight, spear-sharp horns. Unlike many other antelopes, the Oryx tended to confront danger directly rather than flee immediately. When a lion silently approached from behind, the distance between predator and prey quickly narrowed. The lion suddenly leaped onto the prey's back, trying to grip and disorient it. But the Oryx did not panic. It lowered its head and swept its long horns backward, directly attacking the aggressor. These precise sweeps forced the lion to dodge and reduce the pressure of its attack. The struggle lasted only a short time. When it could no longer maintain a safe position, the lion was forced to jump to avoid serious injury. The Oryx took advantage of that moment to create distance and maintain a defensive stance. The hunt ended without either prey being killed. Unexpected counterattacks from prey can disrupt the predator's entire strategy. In harsh environments, long horns are not only a defensive tool, but also a crucial element for survival. In the open grassland, gazelles move silently, but always alert, their slender, sharp horns pointing forward. They are renowned for their ability to change direction quickly to escape predators. However, when a cheetah appears in the distance and begins to accelerate, the safe space quickly shrinks. The cheetah charges forward at incredible speed and soon closes in on its prey. As it prepares to take it down, the gazelle suddenly lowers its head and rams directly into the predator's belly. The impact forces the cheetah to a halt. The gazelle counterattacks a few more times before creating distance. The cheetah is injured in the abdomen and unable to continue the hunt. For a predator that relies entirely on speed, injury can be more dangerous than hunger. It is forced to stop and let its prey escape. In nature, a desperate prey can still inflict significant damage on its predator. In the low grass where the wildebeest herd moves slowly, each individual maintains a safe distance to observe their surroundings. Wildebeest are often considered typical prey for lions, but they are not entirely passive. Their curved, outward-pointing horns, seemingly for defense, can actually be effective weapons when used correctly. And when a lioness approaches, the challenge begins. The lioness approaches with low, steady steps, then suddenly accelerates when close enough. The charge forces the herd to scatter in an instant. However, the targeted individual doesn't flee immediately. It turns its head at the right angle, lowers its horns, and counterattacks with powerful, sweeping, sideways thrusts. These collisions force the lioness to pause to avoid serious injury. The wildebeest's horns, when swung in the right direction, generate enough force to deter the predator. After a few tense moments, the lion is forced to retreat. The wildebeest quickly creates distance and rejoins the herd. The confrontation ends without either prey being killed. Even species often considered docile are capable of fighting to protect their lives. In nature, survival instincts sometimes turn prey into formidable opponents. In the dry land where a mother rhino walks slowly beside her calf, her thick skin and large horn always pointing forward as a warning. The calf occasionally retreats close to its mother's body when sensing unusual movement from afar. A group of lions observe from a safe distance, waiting for the opportune moment when the young one separates from the protective circle. When a lion approaches closer, the calf instinctively recoils. The mother rhino immediately turns to locate the threat. She lowers her head and lunges straight forward with a powerful thrust from her shoulder. The lion is forced to dodge to the side to avoid a direct collision. Just one accurate butt could cause broken bones or serious injury. Realizing the risk outweighs the benefit, the lions gradually retreat. The mother rhino continues to stand in front of her calf, not leaving her position until a clear distance is established. The hunt does not take place. In nature, there are limits that predators understand very well. When the danger is too great, their survival instinct makes them give up. And faced with the protective power of the mother rhinoceros over her offspring, the lion chose to retreat. Through each encounter, the horns are not merely a tool for self-defense, but a declaration of the right to live. The predator may be strong and experienced, but it is never entirely immune to risk. Each counterattack reiterates that survival is always a delicate balance between attack and destruction. And on the vast savanna, order is maintained not only by strength, but also by the limits that all species must respect.